hey class, I didn't see you there. Oh, looks like we're testing some given solutions today. But don't worry, we're not just testing. I'll give you a big fat old A+ just for watching and filling out your notes. So watch this video and let's get going on. We're going to test some solutions today. Before we get to testing, let's go ahead and we're going to talk about some equations. So we have been talking about expressions. There's one big thing and you're going to notice about equations. But we have done things like this already. So let's go through the words and let's write it out. So it says 5 and we have those words less than. Those need to be trigger words. You need to see that. That means everything in front and behind will flip around. So we have 5. That's going to go in the back. Less than means minus. So let's talk about the front now. So twice a number is 21. So first of all, whenever we see a number, we don't know what that number is. It needs to be represented by a variable. What variable, you may ask? It doesn't really matter. You could use X. If you want to be creative, you could use the letter of your first name. Let's use K for right now. Let's use K. So twice a number would be 2 times that mystery number, which we said was K, and we say is 21. We should also note here that we could write 2K minus 5 is equal to 21. It doesn't matter if the equal sign is in front or if it is in back, because we can flip equations around and they still mean the exact same thing, where these two things right here are both the same thing. So we are both A-OK. Moving on to number 2. The quotient of a number. Same exact thing as number 1, by the way. The quotient. So if the quotient is dividing. So the quotient of a number, we don't know what that number is. Let's say that number is P. So the quotient of a number, don't know what it is, and 6 divided by. So quotient of P and 6, we just go in order, is. If you haven't figured it out, this word is a big trigger word. If you need to write it down, write it down. Is our trigger word for equals. Doesn't matter what form it is. Almost every single time in math problems, if you see the word is, you're going to put an equal sign. So right there, boom, equals. The same as 12. So we'd say the quotient, P and 6, is or equals 12. So P divided by 6 equals 12. Now to our big question, what is the difference between an equation and an expression? If we see this word equation, the first little while there, E-Q-U-A, and then it has this missing thing, equal, kind of like an equal sign. The difference between an equation is an expression. The difference between an equation and an expression is an equation has an equal sign, an expression does not have an equal sign. Like we said before, an example of an expression could be 8y minus 2z plus 3. There's various, millions, infinite number of expressions out there that you can create. An equation, just any number. 2x, let's make a simple one, is equal to 4. You could even solve that one right now, but it has an equal sign in there plus a variable. So just make sure you have variable equal sign. We have ourselves an. Now that we know the difference between an equation and an expression, we're going to go on. We have some equations here. You probably know from last year how to solve these already, but just in case, we're going to start out a little bit more simple. We'll build up to solving equations here. If we have an equation 9x plus 4 equals 22, and they say, is x a solution? Will it satisfy this equation over here? So if we have x equals 2, well, this equation has a 2. We're going to substitute it in there to see if it satisfies. So we would write 9 times 2 plus 4. Is that equal to 22? Well, we're going to have to do a little bit of order of operations. 9 times 2 is 18. Add the 4. Is 18 plus 4 equal 22? You betcha, you guessed right. That is. So we would say 2 satisfies the equation 9x plus 4 is equal to 22, or x is equal to 2. Same thing with number 4. This time we have x equals 4. So now we're putting 4 in for x. So we'd have 6 plus 7 Oftentimes, or almost every single time when I substitute something in, you're going to see me put it in parentheses. So 7 next to parentheses is going to mean multiplication. A lot easier to understand things that way instead of putting multiplication sign. Otherwise, some people, I've seen students write down that as being 74, not 7 times 4. So make sure you do that right. So we have 7 times 4 is 28. So we bring everything else down. We want to see, will that work? 6 plus 28 is going to be 34. Is 34 equal to 37? No, it is not. We can put a slash through that equal sign saying it is not a solution. So we would say this one does not satisfy. So this is not a solution of our equation number 4. You will also see some equations here where it says 4x minus 17 equals negative 5, where they're going to give you a grouping over here, or a set of numbers. That's what these curly brackets mean when you see numbers inside. It's a set of numbers. Right now we have a set of numbers 0 through 4. Are any of these numbers a solution for x? Some of you may be able to solve this using inverse operations. We will get to that later. But for now, we are just talking about substituting in. So we plug in 0. Well, 0 times 4, anything times 0 is 0. So we are going to have negative 17 equals negative 5. Does that work? No, that is not equal to. So we need to keep on rolling. By the way, you could get more than one answer. So now it's number 1's turn. So let's take 1, put that in for x. So 4 times 1 minus 17 equals negative 5. Let's test that out. 4 minus 17, is that equal to negative 5? Well, 4 minus 17 is going to be a negative 13. We are not quite there, not equal to. We need to keep on looking. So now, number 2, his time to shine. We put in 4 times 2 minus 17 equals negative 5. Maybe some of you already figured out the answer by now, but we'd have 8 minus 17 equals negative 5. We take 8 minus 17. That's going to be negative 9. That's not equal to negative 5, so we have to keep on searching. So we keep on searching. We want to look 3, plug that baby in there. Hopefully, we're really hoping right now that this is our answer. So 4 times 3 minus 17, is that equal to negative 5? We'll see. So we'd have 12 minus 17 equals negative 5, and what do you know? 12 minus 17 is equal to negative 5. So that would be our answer here. So we would say that our answer would be x equals 3. That would be our solution. Our lucky winner up top would be that 3. If we plug in 4, we might want to check. Sometimes you have more than one answer, not in linear equations, but sometimes when we get later on, more towards fourth quarter in the year, 4 could be an answer. But 4 times 4 is 16. 16 minus 17 is negative 1. That also does not work, so our only answer is x equals 3. Alright, get on with those IXLs. I'm going to get back to my guitar playing.